a lot of people don't quite know what to make of Tommy Fury. Obviously, we know he's the younger brother of the Gypsy King Tyson Fury, the WBC World Heavyweight Champion. But he's also a social media celebrity, a guy who was on Love Island. And some people are of the mind that he's maybe more interested in the celebrity life than he is the boxing life. And one of the things that people have mentioned over the past couple days since his fight here against Jordan Grant is the fact that he didn't even attempt to try and make the light heavyweight limit and fight a light heavyweight opponent. Tommy Fury, I believe, weighed nearly 190 pounds for this fight. So you're talking about someone who was a cruiserweight. Obviously, the limit for cruiserweight is 200. He's 10 pounds under, but still, you can be 190 pounds and fight at cruiserweight. So people are looking at that saying, well, he can't be that serious. He's pumping all the weights and he wants to look body beautiful, and that's why he's come in so heavy. Why would he be doing all those weights? Why wouldn't he be doing boxing training when you know your division is going to be 175? So I'm not saying I am necessarily agreeing with them, but this is one of the views that's out there. I mean, for me, I'm just going to wait and see. He had a very limited amateur background, so although he does come from a fighting family, there's no amateur pedigree to really, give us an idea of how serious he might be or how far he might go. This is a very, very raw novice. His dad's very enthusiastic, John Fury, and, he's saying that he's going to take his time with Tommy, and he's a young guy. I think he's only 22. They've got all the time in the world to develop him. But I think a lot of it does depend on what keeps his focus more. Is the world of celebrities and the likes on Instagram going to keep his focus more than the hard graft in the gym and actually learning your trade? Time will tell. Now, with this performance here against Jordan Grant, he got hit, as I say, several times in the fight with clean shots. And that's a good learning experience. I mean, you're obviously not going to throw him in there with any of the top domestic light heavyweights at this stage, or certainly not top domestic cruiserweights. You're obviously not going to do that. But in order to learn, you have to be in there against people that are coming to win. And I'm not just talking about practice, because if you're fighting a journeyman who's not really coming to win, you're basically practicing. But in a fight like this, it's more than practicing. You're learning because you're making mistakes. You're getting punished for certain mistakes. And therefore, moving forward, you'll learn not to make those mistakes again. Or that's what you should be doing. And Tommy Fury made certain mistakes in the fight. He was up against the ropes at one point, got hit with a big right hand, didn't have his body angled in the correct position to avoid a shot like that, didn't have a hand up to block it, didn't successfully slip it. And look, you're going to get hit in boxing. You can't make an omelet without cracking an egg. So I don't want to be overly critical here, but his dad, John, he himself said he made mistakes and he's going to improve. So it is what it is at the moment. I don't know what else to say about Tommy Fury, other than something which many people have mentioned, and I think even the commentators mentioned this at one point. Was it Carl Frampton? I can't remember who it was. And they mentioned the fact that he's got unusually long arms. In proportionate to his height, he's got extremely long arms. O'Hara Davis has extremely long arms proportionate to his height, but Tommy Fury's got a similar kind of thing going on. Only with Tommy Fury, it looks even more weird because he's like really muscular with extremely overly long arms and relatively short legs compared to his arms. Sometimes you see a guy who's got really long arms, but their legs are kind of long as well. They might have a short torso, but long arms and long legs. So it kind of makes sense. Whereas with Tommy Fury, his legs are kind of like normal, but the arms are just ridiculously long and they're muscular. It looks very weird. And somebody in my Discord server who calls himself Bogdan Dino, I don't know his real name, but that's the Discord tag he utilizes, he put me onto this guy. I never knew that about this guy previously. A guy called Dan Donnelly, who was an Irish professional boxer, it says here, and the first Irish-born heavyweight champion, and was posthumously inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame, Pioneers category in 2008. Never even heard of this guy before. Dan Donnelly. And one of the things about him, as you can see from this sketch, is he reputedly had the longest arms in the history of pugilism, or that's how he was presented at the time. And look at the build. So I'm thinking, is Tommy Fury the reincarnation, or is he a descendant of Dan Donnelly with these crazy long arms? Because obviously the Furies are of Irish descent. And here we have Dan Donnelly, crazy long arms. I think those are the longest arms I've ever seen on maybe any human being ever. Certainly the longest arms I've ever seen on an Irishman. Until I saw Tommy Fury, right? Tommy Fury's giving Dan Donnelly a run for his money with arms that long. But anyway, all fun and games and jokes aside, I wish him nothing but the best. And it'd be nice for his dad, John, to actually be able to guide one of his sons right the way through a professional career here in the UK. Because his son Tyson, I know it's a source of, you might say otherwise, but surely it's to some degree a source of frustration for him that he can't be with his son Tyson in America a lot more than he is. So, yeah. Anyway, let me know what you guys thought in the comments below about Tommy Fury. And here's one thing I'll say. People are talking about Campbell Hatton. Tommy Fury on his debut, to me, was more impressive than Campbell Hatton. Campbell Hatton looked horrendous on his debut. Horrendous. And when I assess the way he looked, I'm only comparing him to people of a similar level of experience, like Conor Benn. Conor Benn on his pro debut looked way better, leagues and leagues above Campbell Hatton. Tommy Fury, I wouldn't say leagues and leagues above, but he looked a lot better than Campbell Hatton. Now, maybe Campbell Hatton just had a really nervous debut and it catapulted him back to his first amateur fight in terms of his technique. I don't know. Maybe he'll vastly improve. I didn't actually watch his second fight, but maybe he'll vastly improve from here on in. But just judging the debuts, Tommy Fury looked better than Campbell Hatton. Conor Benn looked way better than Campbell Hatton. Even Chris Eubank Jr. early in his career looked much better than Campbell Hatton. So that's what I'll say about that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below.